Hi, I'm Julie. This is my reflective evaluation for contemporary practice assessment. So really I have to say I feel that my whole creative practice has shifted during this course. My whole attitude to what I'm doing, my approach to it, and my engagement with textiles as such has really been clarified. I've learnt a lot about processes that I really like, processes that are completely open-ended, experimental, a little element of the unknown in there, and really working with a question, very much exploring a question in an open-ended way with no preconception about the end result or an outcome, what it's going to look like, how, even what the application of it would be. And that really helps me stay open and experimental and playful when I'm working. I've learned quite a lot about materials. I can see now, surrounded by the work that I've done during the course, a decided preference for, I'm going to say, very simple or basic or unadorned materials, things which I can work with in a way that's tactile. I like things that are strong, have some element of resistance, and working with materials, with the textiles that develop those processes in the textiles. So taking the material qualities of textiles but pushing them further, or exploring them, or seeking to transform them. I've learnt a lot about my aesthetics, and also about how to stay authentic to that. So right through the course I've had a sort of bit of a struggle with the idea of things that are pretty or beautiful, or what is beauty, and putting that against the uneasy and the ugly, and finding myself drawn to the latter and wondering why I'm rejecting the former. And I've gone quite a long way in this course towards, well, clarifying really as to how aesthetics match up with my own values and that idea of authenticity. And learning to trust my own aesthetics, that if I think something like this little mud thing is interesting, then going with that and staying with it rather than thinking, oh, maybe it's not. So learning to, the phrase I used in my sketchbook was my kind of pretty. So it's not that things have to be unattractive, but that the beauty, whatever that looks like, has to come from something inside, something meaningful to me. The other element, I suppose, that where I've shifted a lot during this course is the phrase, again I wrote on a note on the wall to myself halfway through the project, which was, where are the people? And I realised that really since ATV I've barely produced anything or looked at anything that actually involves the human form or people or any representational element. And it's not that I've ignored human contact altogether. A lot of my work's been about connection and loss, but it feels like it's time really for there to be more of a presence of people. And the archive unit was particularly instrumental in that because, well, as you can see from behind me and as you'll see on the videos, I've been working very much with objects that relate specifically to people. So that's been that's a really huge learning point for me. The other thing I suppose I've learnt is about the ways of working. I really like working on multiple things at once. I used to think that was a weakness, but actually it's worked really well for me, having several processes on the go at any one time, being able to sit with them, working with different materials and allowing one to inform the other. So for example, I might be doing something with clay or ceramics and it made me realise how that might translate into textiles, or I'd be doing a certain kind of stitching and that would relate back into a more 3D form. So allowing these things to sit and evolve, but at the same time keeping a central spine of usually a question or an idea that I can keep coming back to, and that's worked really well for me. Even I think the idea of selecting and letting things go. So I suppose the first few courses of the degree have been about gathering ideas and broadening and trying different things, and there is still an element of that. I've done a lot of new stuff in this course, but I'm getting a lot more confident in selecting what I want to take forward and go deep into. And my motto on my wall has been, find what excites you and go further, rather than just moving on. Yeah, so altogether I'd say, hopefully that you can see in the work that I've chosen, it was quite hard to split it by learning objective, but I hope that you can see that my work has become more experimental. It certainly feels a lot more confident from where I am, and I hope you enjoy looking at the work.